Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Pallavi Kumari, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my first ever bullet journal setup. This is going to be an October bullet journal setup, and I started my setup by writing a quote on the left side of the first page, which says people will be in a secret competition with you and still be losing. This is the first ever bullet journal that I'm trying, and so I decided to keep it a little bit minimal. I'm going with the fall vibe obviously, but in a minimal way, especially considering the fact that I'm not good at drawing. For my first few journals, I think I'll be trying out different variations to find out what is my perfect type of setup. For this one, I'm going easy and I'm using the stationery that were already there in my house. But considering the who I am of stationery, I think I'll be buying some cool stuffs in the coming future. In the right side, I'm writing October along with a mini calendar, and then simply highlighting or creating a shadow effect onto the font by using my golden color pen. So here's the thing. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on stickers, so I printed out some fall themed stickers, cut them into sizes and stuck onto my journal. Moving on to my monthly calendar layout, I kept it simple, drew horizontal and vertical lines creating boxes, and wrote the dates on the left hand top corner. This log is meant for some important dates that I should remember this month, including birthdays, uploading YouTube videos, and submission of assignments. Then I made a tiny note section on the right side of the right page. Now comes the most awaited log of any bullet journal, the trackers. So let me tell you my journaling story. I started journaling at a very early age. I think I was in 5th grade when I started writing things up along with scribbling pictures and all. As I entered teenage, life got fucked up a little bit and I started to literally scribble my feelings onto a notebook. Cursed various people, asked God a trillion times why me. Even though in my teens I had a lot of friends in school, but hardly anyone knew what's going on inside me. Teenage is a tough time though. Dang. No blames by the way. So this journal involuntarily became my emotional punch bag. But this year I realized that I'm taking undue advantage of such a beautiful habit that I have developed in the course of time. I can use it in a more respectful way, make journaling fun and my happy place. Earlier I used to have a rule notebook and I just used to write a date and scribble everything that was in my mind that day. But this year I started to make things more artistic. By the way, I'm not an artist and I'm not a great lover of art, but yeah. Also this year I started to be more positive towards the things that I wrote. Earlier I used to be like, this happened to me, he said this to me, she behaved with a little girl like that, so on and so forth. But this year I left myself a paragraph where I wrote about what I learned from the incident and what positive outlook can I have from the incident. I think these little gestures, choices and decisions speaks out about maturity and wisdom in some way. and I'm thankful to God for instilling these important things in me. Recently, I came across this bullet journal genre, and I was just blown away by the fact that how interesting and playful a journal can be, and decided to join the league. So I made tiny boxes of calendars and wrote the habit on top of the box that I want to track. For my mood tracker, I drew leaves in the most childish way possible, and on the bottom I wrote the mood along with the color codes. These are some of my first journals, so they are not perfect, but I'm moving forward considering and accepting the fact that you cannot be perfect at your first attempt. However, exceptions do exist. I didn't wait for the year to get over and start fresh in the next year, because I don't like postponing things, especially considering the fact that I'm so vulnerably dynamic with these things, like having something planned and then start after a very long time, because I simply lose the inspiration and the emotion. In the next page, I'm drawing my expenses chart. I used to have a 𝒐𝒓𝒅𝒆 notebook earlier, but I think that this time I want to combine everything in a single place. That way it will be a little bit more easier, I think. So I drew 3 columns which consist of the date, the amount that I spent, and the thing on which I spend the amount. I think these 3 columns will be more than enough for me to actually know and judge where my money goes, like where the majority of my money goes every month, and that way I'll be able to keep a better track on both my expenses and my habit of expenses. Next to the expenses page, it is my mandatory gratitude list. Somehow I lost the footage of this, but all I did is I made a big post-it doodle and wrote gratitude list on top of the page. Next up is my YouTube ideas page. I have a habit of having sudden pop-up ideas on my mind, and so I really do need a specific quick area to write down my ideas. So yeah, I thought that I should include YouTube idea list page on every month, because I do get a lot of ideas. However, the execution part is always a question mark, but yeah, I do get a lot of ideas. Then I went forward and I stuck all the cutout so-called stickers that I actually printed out. For the next page, I thought it will be all the quotes or lines from any book that I like will go to this page. So yeah, this is my final flip through of my journal.